Do you want me to go into my 3 up just for the sake of it?
Let's go. 3 up. Let's go.
Just hop in there.
Let's just hop in.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey, little buddy. Hey, just jump out.
dive,
The water's warm.
Take this. Take it.
There you go, pal.
Here's the baton.
Okay.
Run.
Who's going first?
Here's my 3 up. Tim Ream. I think
number one.
To show
this
that
power rankings. This
is power rankings. Yeah.
This is just 3 up, guys. Stop that. You don't put those words in my mouth. Okay. I'm Tim Ream is up because again he continues to show his quality. Now we can sit and break down on Greg, and this goes back to the Brendan Aronson argument, which is like if our team's going to be a high pressing team, I want Brendan Aronson on the field to start. I don't want Tim Ream on the field if he's got to play the high line all the time. But considering we're trying everything and every opponent's going to be different, why would you not want a Tim Ream around to bring some organization and some experience both on and off the field? So Tim Ream is one of my 3 up. Eric Palmer Brown, captain over the weekend in France. Another up for me because when I'm thinking about Aaron Long and Walker Zimmerman not playing for 39 days until the start of the World Cup, I'm thinking about other who else can be trending upward during this window of time where our center backs are vulnerable. And then number 3 is Mark McKenzie. Continues to play. They win over Royal Antwerp. They're sitting on top of the table. They're winning consistently. My 3 up are all center backs. And that to me is a good sign. Now, whether or not Greg heeds the call of taking chances on these players, I at least think that's a sign that we've got players playing consistently. Eric Palmer Brown captaining a team in Liga, which is fantastic. Tim Ream has his team in the top half of the table and continuing to make big plays in games and just showing his comfort playing in the Premier League, right? System aside. And then Mark McKenzie also having just a really good bounce back season after a year lost in a team that's at the top of the table in Belgium right now. So those are my three up. If you guys want to go feed off
go
that.
Ahead, Charlie. Go ahead, Charlie. Go 3 up.
Give us your 3 up.
3 up.
3 up. Gio Reyna, 1.
Nice.
66 minutes, start and a goal. You could see when he scored that goal just before half what it meant to him. The pressure of performing, the pressure of being healthy, the excitement of what's in front of him with the league and with the World Cup. Just you couldn't feel any more happiness for a player. So that was amazing to see. Ricardo Pepi scoring against PSV, continuing to make an impact with this loan move. Not too many people fall into a situation like this with a loan. Think about it. He was in purgatory. Big time signing, club record signing for Augsburg, not playing at all. Not even making the bench. Here he is. He gets a loan to the top division in Holland to a team that's in the middle, and he's relied on to get results it's a high pressure situation for a club like Groningen. He's come into the situation and has just thrived. And not only is he playing, he's developing at the same time, building confidence, working on his hold up play, working on the transition, whether it's defending to all of a sudden being the guy relied on to winning the ball back for his club and turning it into points, into goals.
And by the way, Charlie, he came into that situation in a situation that I wasn't sure was going to be great because they had just bought Florian Kruger, who is a German youth international from Arminia Bielefeld. And I was like, oh man, this is another one of those situations, a Chris Richards one where it's hard to say no, but now you've got somebody who they've bought for $1 million into that spot. And $1 million's a lot for a Groningen to go out and spend. And he's winning out in that competition, which is making him a better player and giving him a better form. Just wanted to point that out too, as this, in terms of being in a situation that's not just in form because he's scoring goals, but also because he's having to win out in competition.
Yes. And competition is what drives a player to really reach his full potential. You can't rest. And you see that in his performances. He's hungry. He's not giving up. He's not thinking that he's won the job and I can take my foot off the gas. And then my third player is Tim Ream. I mean, which I think will kind of highlight some of my downs, but this is a player who is playing in the Premier League. He's the captain. It's not just playing in the Premier League. He's a big part of how they build out of the back. He gets a lot of touches, and whether they're sitting and defending and having to fight for a result, or they feel like, oh, we get back in this game where we can take a little bit more chances and play higher up the field. He's surviving, and he's playing in the best league in the world. I don't know how you overlook him now, considering how many center backs are out of the picture at this point. And he's been involved, so it's not out of nowhere. You know, he knows. Of course, Heath is out. His camera was shoddy, anyways. But he knows exactly what Greg Berhalter wants, the expectations, and he has that experience now, being an older player. So those are my three.
It's hard for me to go against the 6 players or the combined 6 players that you guys went with. Tim Ream for sure would be on my list. I think he's probably playing the best he's ever played in his career, Charlie. I don't know if there's any other way in terms of consistency. Sure, we've maybe seen better peaks from him, but in terms of that consistently giving you a 7 or an 8 out of 10 every single time, and a center back position is where you need your spine of your team. You always have to have 7 or 8s out of 10 if you're going to have success more often than not with your squad. And so I think Tim Ream has been delivering that consistently at obviously a very, very high level. And you have to consider it. And if he gets brought in, I wonder what that looks like. Greg's like, hey, you want to come play? And Tim's like, oh, now you need me. You know, that's what I would be about Tim. Oh, okay. Now you need me when I'm kicking ass over here. All right, sure. I'll come play in the World Cup. No big deal. So I'm curious to see how that conversation goes, even if he's even being considered. I hope that he is. Another player I think that has done a lot here is Sean Johnson. He has been absolutely excellent for NYCFC in the playoffs. He's made some world-class saves. Listen, if you're going to win anything of consequence, and we saw it with Sean Johnson last year when they ended up winning the MLS Cup, you have to have a goalkeeper who's red hot, and he's red hot right now in these first 2 games. And with Ethan Horvath shipping 4 goals against Watford this past weekend, it was a battle for that number 3. I wonder if Sean Johnson can maybe squeak in there and eliminate Horvath for that third spot.
I would also add Zach Steffen coming off a clean sheet, coming off of 2, like he looks like he's healthy now. I mean, the 4-1 win, the match before, the 0-0 draw, getting the clean sheet, that's also him heading in an upwards trajectory, which is awesome, because you want both him and Matt Turner fit as can be, healthy. And then, you know, obviously I think in that case, Greg Berhalter is going to go with Zach Steffen because he's playing every week and he's fit and healthy. We just haven't seen Zach Steffen fit and healthy for a long time. So if
they have a new coach,
right? If he's finally good and here we go, fine. Then that it is what it is. Get behind Zach Steffen, support him. We all know what a great person he is. So those, and you could throw in Mark McKenzie. That was a great shout.
That's my third pick is Mark McKenzie. And I think Zach Steffen should be part of the conversation. I'm curious now with Michael Carrick coming in, how he is going to do and how he's going to utilize Zach Steffen in terms of using his feet and the system they want to play. So obviously something to keep an eye on. But yeah, I think Mark McKenzie, for those that don't know, Genk is now on top of the table. They went away to Royal Antwerp this past week, who were also near the top, and they got a comprehensive 3-1 win. And I thought Mark McKenzie was a big reason why. I think he's been really solid and one of the reasons why Genk is now on top of the Belgian league. So I think he is another one of the ups. All right, let's get to the bads.
Jimmy, real quick, one thing that deserves an honorable mention is Kevin Paredes got his first start, played 73 minutes for Wolfsburg, which is a huge sort of step forward for him because he's got a ton of potential. But it's really hard to develop that if you're not getting the minutes.
He's an up for 2026. He's on that 2026 radar. He's an up for 2026.
Correct. And Richie Ledesma as well.
That's true. Good shout.